around.
Welcome to 360 Sports Show on Galaxy Universal Network, where we go a full 360 around the globe to give you the latest in the world of sports. My name is NAMHLA MATHANDABUZO, and good afternoon to each and every one of you watching at home.
Happy Monday, NAMHLA.
Aye.
Bonjour, Africa, como ça va? North Africa, East Africa, West Africa. We're coming live to you in Johannesburg, South Africa. It is a bumper of a show. It's a Monday. A lot of tears galore in Africa when it comes into different sporting codes, but I'm not going to mention who is going to be suffering today. But we are here at 360 Sport to wipe your tears. My name is DLAMINI. We've got a bumper of a show for you this afternoon.
And we will not forget, we want to say thank you to Mr. Price Sport for, dressing us up, looking all nice and stuff.
Mr. Price, no surprises for our director. I know what you wanted to say, but hey, you have to pay some bills sometimes for goodness that is done out there. What have you got for our viewers this afternoon?
We have crazy news coming out of rugby, the Six Nations,
yes,
and the Cheetahs finally doing something.
Yes.
And we have exciting news coming from cricket as well. Women's cricket doing very well, the Proteas. And also we have golf. South Africans doing the most again.
Doing great things in golf.
Look, we are going to these Olympics. We are going to these Olympics, and we've got motorsport. Now, okay, I'm not saying anything.
Can you stop there? All I'm going to say to you, so that you feel better, I'm swallowing my pride in terms of what I've been going on about what is happening in motorsport.
Oh, thank you.
Then in tennis, finally Miami Open happened.
Yes, and you've got people pulling out, people going, that's just one of those things. But the sporting weekend was absolutely active. I think there was just everything. Crazy. And then you've got athletics.
South African athletics are back in action.
Back in action.
Some decent times being clocked out there.
9.
Wow, that's very good.
9.
That's very good.
Simbe, ne? Hey, guys, ne? South Africans, Olympics are cleaner.
Yes.
I'm looking at that.
I think we're on the right track.
And then we've got... You go ahead.
Football, like I said, we're going to be wiping some tears this morning. A lot of tears that are coming out in terms of sport. But remember, this is the D-Day week for all the countries in the African continent in terms of qualifying for AFCON in Cameroon the next year. So the last qualification spots are going to be finalized, I think, today and tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely.
There's only, 3 spots left?
Yeah. And Condon Funita, but we'll deal with it later.
Let's get along in our
Yes, straight into our stories. 11 Cheetahs finish on a massive high. The Toyota Cheetahs ended off their kick-off series on a stellar note, scoring 11 tries as they walloped the hapless EP Elephants 71-12 in Bloemfontein on Sunday. It was apparent from the start that the only real question will be how big the scoreline will be in favor of the home side, and underlined once again just how far the Elephants have to go before they can be competitive at this level. There were moments where the Elephants showed promise, but for the most part they were backpedaling and trying to stop the floodgates from opening as the Cheetahs ran at them from all angles. In the end, the Elephants were hopelessly outgunned and struggled to plug the gaps, but Paye's 2 tries will give them hope on long road ahead that they have to travel. That at the times the strength as their scrum will be something to build on. For once, the Cheetahs just went on a rampage.
They do something different. Let's give you just the rest of the results there. Obviously, Cheetahs 71 and Eastern Elephants 12. And then Stormers 44, the Lions 12. Trafalgar Griquas 23 and New Nations Pumas 22. It was a very close match. But happy people, Sharks 44 and the Bulls. That's the revenge of the what? It's the revenge of the what?
Yes.
But it's still early days in this kickoff cup.
Absolutely.
And then hopefully, the Bulls will also do the sweet revenge back home.
I think the Bulls are... I'm not going to say they're tired. I think they're just being complacent. And it's like, whatever, we'll see it when we get there.
But my observation in that game, I think they played the second string team.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's complacency.
Yeah.
Because now Jake is thinking, why should I put in so much into like
to some teams it means a lot. You know, they win.
Look at the score.
Stormers
yes.
and Sharks. I think it means a lot to them.
Yes, and also look at the score line.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the fact that he was playing his second fiddle team against a first team of the Sharks. So. Hey,
let's go to Six Nations. Scotland historic Paris win fulfilled by France pre-match title boost. Scotland flanker Jamie Ritchie said France's pre-match boost about winning the Six Nations was fuel to the fire as they won in Paris for the first time since 1999. The latest 27-23 victory, the started the France put an end of the Blues' hopes, which were resting on scoring tries on more and winning margin of the 20 points. I will say it frustrated and fuel at us. They were talking about winning by 20 points. Richie said we were confident going into the game. When they start talking about winning by 20 points, it fueled to the fire. We were confident going into the game. When they start talking about winning by 20 points, fuel to the fire. I would say it was upsetting. It was good for us, he added. The Dark Blues finished fourth in the championship after home defeat by Wales. So this time around, Scotland doing what's not expected in terms of winning away in France, and
absolutely,
making sure that they advance into the Six Nations round.
And it was a shocker. I remember the Wales, Ireland, and Scotland have been doing this game that I don't understand.
Yes.
And right now we are looking at them actually doing something out of the Six Nations. So it's all good. And moving straight into cricket, the Proteas women received Sports Excellence Award. Cricket South Africa on Friday congratulated the Momentum Proteas on recognition of Sport Excellence Award they received from Minister Nathi Mthethwa. We'll talk about that one very soon at the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture function on Thursday night. This is a wonderful and most deserved award to our ladies who continue to go from strength to strength and serve as a source of inspiration and pride to all of us, commented CSA Acting Chief Executive Poletsi Moseki. In the past 15 months, the Proteas have produced one highlight after another, including an historical clean sweep ODI series over New Zealand down under and reaching the semi-final of the ICC Women's T20 Cricket World Cup in Australia. And now they have had their most successful ever tour to India that included victory in both white ball series. Unathi Mthethwa, quickly, I don't even understand about Minister Yokwenza Ntoni. I'm not being controversial, but so much money that has gone missing under his watch. I mean, you've got people that we've never received grants. Let's start here.
360 Sports Show in South Africa, they wanted some grant from the Ministry of Sports. Unfortunately, we didn't get any. We're not going to dwell on that one. But what is very important is that I think the delays and the challenges, they coming from this integration of sports and arts and culture. Because now I'm seeing the loopholes where all this stealing of money happened, because now it was more money that was destined for arts, and then the sport obviously was postponed, and guys were given their 1,000 rand. But we say hopefully South Africa, all the billions that have been spent in terms of supporting the COVID-19 sports athletes and artists, one day will come back to haunt them, those ones that are looking after it. But good rewarding of the women's Protea team.
Absolutely.
Yes, they're doing some great things.
Better than the national men's team.
No. They are doing some very interesting. That's both tours that they've excelled in them. One, it was one in New Zealand.
Yes.
They came back victorious. Now in India, they're doing the same thing.
Absolutely.
I think they deserve better honor than
that. Yes, it's you know what, it's the ambition to do better each and every game. You want to be better after each and every game. Unlike abanye abantu singazibabiza amagama, but yeah, that's where we are, and we'll just stay away from. Yes.
And then into India tour with England. Sibas help India clinch thriller at the series. India beat England 7 runs on Sunday at the clinch on one-day international series 2-1 despite a courageous unbeaten 95 from Sam Curran. England, who had already lost Test and T20 series, bowled out India for 329 in 10 balls for a spare in Pune. England looked on the ropes at 200 for 7, but Curran equaled the highest OD score by batsmen coming in at number 8 or lower. England sent out the order that Curran was to be given the strike as much as possible for the closing overs as they hoped for, unlikely but needing 14 to win and the final 6 balls. Curran came up against a disciplined effort from Natarajan, who gave just 1 boundary. England, this thing of England, it always follows them in the World Cup, in soccer, in
everywhere.
Needed 14 runs in, like, I mean,
nations.
really. Just 14 runs. They just could not make it on the day. But it's one of these, big up to India. Obviously, they were a host, and they did very well in terms of making sure that they get the results in terms of the tour.
Now to our next cricket story. New Zealand cruised to T20 victory over Bangladesh. An unbeaten 92 from Devon Conway and a 4-wicket bust from Ish Sodhi ensured New Zealand romped to victory by 66 runs in the opening T20 against Bangladesh in Hamilton on Sunday. Conway, whose rollicking innings included 11 fours and 3 sixes, shed in a 105-run stand with debutant Will Young, 53, as New Zealand posted an impressive 210 after winning the toss and electing to bat. Mohammad Naeem made an enterprise start to the Bangladesh reply with 2 boundaries off the opener over from Team Southie. And let's go on to our next story, which is now a CSA story. Yeah. The Titans in a spin as Subaran leads assault, the momentum multiplier Titans went from nightmare to normality and back again on an extraordinary penultimate day after their 4-day domestic series final against the Hollywood Bets Dolphins at Kingsmead on Sunday. Just 3 sessions to go on Monday in a season's first-class domestic climax and end to the franchise era. The Titans finished 92 for 4 in their second innings, still trailing by 150 runs, having been forced to follow on after they had been dismissed for a record low 53 in 43.3 overs in their first innings, with Paralen Subrayan capturing a career best of 6-24 in 22 overs and Senuran Muthamsi at 3 over 12 in 14.3 overs. Yo, Pepersons are done 53 in 43 runs.
43 runs.
What was their run rate?
You know, that's why it was poor. But always the excuse with cricket is that in Devon there was a lot of rain, and then there was a lot of distractions in terms of start and stop. So obviously that complacency comes in, and then everybody says, no, we were trying our level best, but the conditions were not allowing us. They were not allowing us.
It wasn't their best at all. And I think let's go on a short commercial break, and when we come back, we do our final stories and close. We'll see you after the break.
After the break.
Make massive moves.
So from the theatre stage to the kitchen.
I'm anxiously awaiting to see Sanaya.
What else is this if not love?
Make massive moves with Starsat. Make massive moves.
The space race has already started.
Russia had got the first object into space.
The coast is as wild today as it was when Europeans settled the continent.
Enormous beasts with enormous thirst. The teens are primed and ready.
They got the first animal into space, and they got the first person.
Time to see what the boys can do.
Make massive moves with Starsat. Make massive moves.
Isn't that your daughter's bib? But the truth is, I feel like Arabella's always with me.
Don't you ever forget this man's face. He killed your brother.
Make massive moves with Starsat.
Welcome back to 360 Sports. We are coming live to you from Midrand, Johannesburg, South Africa. I hope Central Africa you are watching, North Africa you are watching. We are on Starsat, channel 500, 400, whatever channel that you are watching.
500, hello,
You're watching. We are on Starsat, channel 400. We are on Galaxy Universal Network. Now, going to Bahrain, what happened in Formula One? We are bringing you the latest in the motorsport, MotoGP and Formula One.
Yes, Hamilton wins season opener as Verstappen fumbles. Lewis Hamilton produced another stunning demonstration of his supreme racing talent on Sunday to resist a charging Max Verstappen and win a thrilling cliffhanger season opening in Bahrain Grand Prix. The defending seven-time champion defended with great skill over the closing laps in his Mercedes to hold off the Red Bull driver and claim a recording increasing 96th Formula One victory. Hamilton came home 7/10 of a second ahead of the Dutchman, who was forced to hand back the race lead in the closing laps after passing him with a move that had taken him off the track. As expected, the champion and his heir apparent delivered an exhilarating exhibition of racing as they raced to their flag. The pair leaving the third-place Valtteri Bottas in the second Mercedes to finish adrift by 37 seconds. It was Hamilton's first season opening triumph since 2015 and surprised many observers after Red Bull had dominated pre-season testing and 2 days of practice and qualifying ahead of the race.
Verstappen, you know what I'm going to say here to you, NAMHLA, and your viewers and your Lewis Hamilton fans is this: if it wasn't for Max's professional,ism and sportsmanhood, he could have never given Lewis this win, because the rules, they say, they're clear, okay? We just witnessed it now in football. A goal went in and it was not. That's what makes the sport exciting.
No.
I'm telling you, if it was Alonso or it was a Kimi Räikkönen, I'm telling you now, Lewis Hamilton was not going to get that victory. It was going to be given to him in the boardroom.
No. The fact is, he won.
But
that's where.
Very close race.
Cut it. and close it. He won the race.
Yes.
Yes, we're not going to talk about Mick, eh?
No, he crashed. He had a problem.
Even the Haas guy crashed as well.
It's a problem. I'll say it's experience. It's experience, you know, in the beginning. And Kimi Raikkonen as well. He didn't finish the race. Alonso didn't finish the race. Vettel finished, I think, 16th or so. So it's a big problem at the moment. We know it was the first race. Obviously, there are a lot of cheating when it comes to vehicles.
But who won?
Good start for Lewis Hamilton.
Thank you.
Say Lewis Hamilton.
Thank you. This man has been running away from congratulating Lewis Hamilton and saying all these things that meant nothing. But
he's got a good team. He's got a good team behind him.
I saw Toto's excitement. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
You know, and then
I always say with the race in Formula One, we are always as good as your last pit stop.
I want to marry Toto, actually. Yes. Straight into our next story. Maverick Vinales wins a season opening at Qatar MotoGP. Yamaha's Maverick overcame a slow start to win the season's opening Qatar Grand Prix on Sunday in an exhilarating race where defending world champion John Mir lost out on a podium on the final lap to Johann Zarco and Francesco Bagnaia. Mir, who started 10th on the grid, steadily made his way through the field but went wide on the final corner, allowing Pramac Racing Zarco and pole sitter Bagnaia of Ducati to beat him on the straight with their superior stop speed. Bagnaia and teammate Jack Miller were lighting quick off the line at the start, while Zarco and his teammate Jorge Martin quickly gained positions to make a Ducati-powered top 4 in the opening lap. As the Yamaha fell back, Zarco overtook Miller to move into second, while Yamaha's Fabio also moved up to third in a feisty battle for third. I think Nesfoneli Monster is
for me, for him, big up to him. He was all on praises for his wife, for the support and the family that the wife gave during this time. And for me, it's always encouraging if a young man comes forward and say, I thank my wife, not my
wife and girlfriend.
It happens somewhere in some continents, that one, that they thank the wives and the girlfriends. Yeah. Let's move on into tennis.
Yes, please give us tennis. Tennis is a funny one.
Pass. Robert advanced in the Miami as help withdrew old number 1 Ashley Betty looked sharp in a straight sets victory. Jelena outstayed on Saturday at Miami Open, where men's second seed Stefanos Cruz passed lucky loser Demi Dumont. Defending champion Betty defeated the former French Open from Latvia 6-3, 6-3, 6-4, 6-1, 6-2, 6-2. A fourth round clash with former world number 1 Victoria Azarenka. Greece's Tsitsipas ranked 5th in the world, but seated second behind world number 2 Dani Medvedev in the Masters 1000 event that missing to ranked. Hey, Novak Djokovic is back, but is relaxing at home. World number 1 Dominic Thiem, as well as Roger Federer and Andy Murray, was untroubled in a 6-1, 6-4 win over Bosnian lucky loser Demi Dovic. Obviously, coming up, runner-up finish, and Al Cappuccino last week hit 10 of his 18 winners. His forehand and committed only unforced errors at the reluctantly pressured opponent. The 3-time Grand Slam semifinalist next faces Japanese 28 seed Kei Nishikori, who outlasts Slovakian Aja Bene 7-6, 6-8-6. 5-7-6.
And I think let's go on to our next tennis story so that we just finish tennis and move on to the next story. Daniil Medvedev celebrated his rise to second in the world with a seamless entry into the Miami Open on Friday, trouncing Taiwan's Lui Heng-Husen in less than an hour. Russian's Medvedev needed just 56 minutes to subdue Liu 6-2, 6-2, firing 9 aces with just one double fault as he advanced to a third round, meeting Australian Alexei Popyrin 6-4, 6-2. Winner over 30th seed American Riley Opelka. Women's number 2, Naomi Osaka, seated second behind top-ranked Australian Ashley Barty, had a tougher time but conquered her nerves in her first match since winning the Australian Open to beat Aussie Alja Tomovic 7-6, 6-4. Zverev also arrived in Miami riding a wave of success, having captured the ATP title in Acapulco last week. But Rusovuri, 21, rallied to claim one of the biggest wins of his career, turning the tables on Zverev with more. I mean, seriously, these kids, he's 21.
Yes.
He's turning the tables on one person we thought was actually go further, because there's no Andy Murray, there's no Roger Federer, there's no Djokovic, there's no Nadal.
But it's a good thing for him. It's him going to number 2 now in the world rankings. You know, it shows now that Miami as well, it's contributing into the rankings in terms of how you perform there. It takes you to the next level.
I'm actually happy that Ashley is number 1, because you'd actually think that it's the Americans are going to sit at number 1.
Yeah.
I'm happy that Ashley Barty is at number 1 and Naomi is at number 2. So, hey.
That's very good. That's very good. Let's move on into athletics. Good things are happening. Athletics is back into action in South Africa, and hopefully as well also in the African continent, and some little bit of controversy coming out. Wade Jodwana Akani to headline athletics meeting. A world-class 200 line-up featuring likes of Wade Van Niekerk, Akani Simbine, and Anonso Jobokwana will headline the second SAA Athletics Invitation Meet powered by Avanti at Ramsek Athletics Stadium in Roodepoort, Johannesburg on Tuesday. The men's half-lap race starting at 3 p.m. will feature some South Africans' fastest men having won the 100-meter contest at last week's first leg of SAA Athletics Invitation Meet powered by Avanti. So he clocked, apparently clocked 9.99 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And Simbine clocks 9.99 seconds against strong headwind, running sub 10 seconds as no big deal to Akani Simbine, who he can do so 9 of the 10 times of races 100 meters, but winning 9.99 seconds yesterday during the Gauteng North Champions at Tuks was special. The wind and not the stopwatch turned out to be the Tuks base sprinters' biggest challenge. When the athletes settled in their starting blocks for the 100 meters final, they were up against a 3-meter-second wave wind. Simbine is only the second sprinter to dip under 10 seconds so far this season. Benjamin Amzati Kwaku from Ghana clocked 9.97 seconds on Friday in the USA. The South African record holder Simbine admits being disappointed and frustrated yesterday.
I don't know what frustrates him, but what is interesting that is coming out in the African continent is that not only in South Africa and the guards in Ghana, they are clocking some good times at the moment, building up to Tokyo to what? And then again, which means there are a number of prospects of medals when it goes to Tokyo.
Yes, and then Kenya. Yes, Kenyan long-distance runner Florence Jepskogei has received a 1-year community service sentence for faking documents as part of a defense on a doping charge. The Anti-Doping Association of Kenya announced she becomes the first Kenyan athlete to be found guilty in a criminal court. The verdict was handed down after the trial in Eldoret following an investigation lasting a number of years. The 36-year-old marathon runner was banned for 2 years in 2017 for using performance-boosting drug Prestolone. She was found guilty of providing false medical records from Eldoret's Usain Gishu Hospital to support her defense case when she appeared before the Kenyan sports.
No, that's what happens, is that in sport, we don't need cheaters in sports, because these things, you remember, it's not your game. So you will always be found out, you know, in the long run in terms of maybe Kenya. The intention, they were thinking that it will never go to the courts, because when it goes to the actual courts, they they go deep in terms of even going to the doctor and interviewing the officials at the hospital to get if those records are correct, records that were issued by the hospital. But I think she deserves it, and she's going to, you know, serve community. I'm glad she's going to be serving community.
Tainting Kenya. Kenya has got such good athletes.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, I see.
Good luck to her as serving a sentence. Now, moving on into football, it's all been the weekend of AFCON qualifiers. Sudan shock. Bafana to punch AFCON ticket. Sudan beat South Africa 2-0 at Al Hilal Stadium on Osbudam on Sunday. Book their spot at the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON at Bafana expense. Victory moved the Falcons of Giambane up to 12 points in Group C. Points behind Ghana, who defeated Sao Tome, principal 3-1, but more importantly, 2 points ahead of South Africa, who will take no part in the next showpiece in Cameroon. Sudan got off the best possible start at Sanfia Beketi as he shrank his marker from a free kick before nodding the ball past Rowan.
Just a quick one on this one. I hope Patrice Motsepe can sort this out, because this game was not televised. Yeah. And this battle between Sport 5 and Super Sport... So
that's why Bafana did not win, because it was not televised.
Pressure but all I'm saying is we just need to make sure, like Bafana guys the grand dishab Bafana grand.
Let's give you the rest of the results. Obviously, Ghana beat Sao Tome 3-0. Namibia again winning against Guinea. Tanzania beating Libya 1-0. Tunisia beating Equatorial Guinea 1-0. And Nigeria making it through to the final,
and I'm sure
by
Tone is
thrashing
happy.
the Ghanaian neighbors Benin, in terms of making sure that they book their ticket to Cameroon next year.
Yes, absolutely. And then Comoros has qualified. Comoros is an island made out of the players and their families, but they made it. Hi guys.
I don't like commenting about countries, because when it comes to football, it's 11 v 11. So you might be coming from the $1 trillion country, and I'm coming from the Zim dollar country. It's still the same. It's 11 v 11, and the results, they are the ones that matters at the end.
Abantu Comoros by 22.
22
compared to our 47 whatever
22
millions.
And 23, but it's 11 v 11.
Yes.
So,
and then Denmark doing the unthinkable.
Yes.
What was that about? That score is
8-0. It's one of those things that in football, honestly, if you lose your concentration and you lose your focus in terms of where you are, in terms of, remember, the levels are not the same. So Maldo was not in the same level as Denmark, and the Denmark, they capitalize on that and say, we will excel, we will score as many goals as possible. And then Italy went on to beat Bulgaria by 2-0, and then Poland beat Andorra as well 3-0, and Germany slightly making a victory there over Romania, and Portugal, that's the one that I wanted to talk to. They could have won 3-2, but we are saying that what is been said in football, that leave the technology out of it, let the human beings officiate the game, whether it was a goal or not goal. As it stands, the official score, as we've given it to our viewers, is that it was 2 Portugal and 2 Serbia. Whether Cristiano Ronaldo goal was a goal or not, it's my personal view. It's not the referee's personal view on the game.
But it was what it was yesterday. So next time you must make sure you score a goal as well.
That is clear. That is clear.
Yes.
That's our show, folks. Africa, it's been great. I hope you keep following the show on StarSat Channel 400.
400. No,
I'm saying StarSat Channel 500. Yeah?
Yes,
am I right?
500.
Oh, it's $500 rents.
Yo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adios, Africa. It's another show. On Wednesday, we'll give you some more details on sports.
Thank you to each and every one of you from watching from wherever you are. And thank you to Mr. Price. We're sure gonna look nice for this week. And yes, we'll see you again on Wednesday. Yes, Director Sikhonyiswa week. Thank you. See you guys on Wednesday. Goodbye and God bless.
Adios, Africa.